Welcome to the Zen Forum, where we inspire and empower you to achieve holistic success. In collaboration with Indonesia Economic Forum and the Zen Monk, we are redefining success beyond money, focusing on true well-being, purpose, and balance. Through powerful conversations, we are igniting growth and sparking change in both your personal and professional life, one conversation at a time. Today we have a very special guest. Her name is Cindy Gozali. She is a work-life well-being coach and founder and CEO of Jiva Raga Space, which is where we are here right now. Thank you so much for sharing your space.
Thank you.
So it's incredibly perfect for the topic for today. And thank you for pioneering self-help in Indonesia.
Oh, you're welcome, Divya.
Awesome. So let's get started, okay? Let's start at the beginning. What led you to this path? Was there anything in particular in your life that sparked you to get started with the self-growth, self-help industry and for yourself?
Okay, so I stumbled on this path actually quite a long time ago in 2011. And I started meditating, journaling, and going on a path of self-transformation. And I make that a part of my life. And I decided to leave my corporate job. I actually started another business that is also in wellness.
Okay.
But I realized even though I was already in wellness, I was still feeling burnt out. I was still feeling disconnected and unfulfilled. And I felt that I have a lot of responsibilities and burden. And when that happened, I took a step back and reflect and ask myself, what is truly important? And even though I love this business very much, is there anything that I needed to change so that I can be happy again, I can feel fulfilled again? And that moment of reflection and contemplation and also discussing with my business partners, that's where I realized that I forgot about my own well-being. And that is where we decided, when we opened Jiva Raga, we need to incorporate well-being into our life as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we don't, even though we love this business very much, we love working very much, but we also need to make time for our well-being. Yeah, so that is why Jiva Raga happened, and it's really our pride and joy. And this is, we are already at a later age as well, where we have more wisdom, and we don't feel that we need to be, be in the race, to success. Yeah, so that, Jiva Raga, now that you're here, you can feel that the energy is very calming, very peaceful, and we feel that is something that people in Jakarta really need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Was there a time in your life that was like a turning point where you felt like I want to be in the wellness space?
Yes, because I changed because of that. So that is the time when I realized, hey, more people need to know about this, but I know that not everyone can have access to this. Yeah, because I love traveling, I can, travel, and I can go to different courses all around the world, but I realized that this is where it needs to be in Jakarta.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense. So what would you tell to people who is still very new in this world? What actually is well-being? What is actually healing in a more simpler terms for them who's just like, you hear it so many times, right? Healing, ala healing, But what is the point of healing? What actually happens when you take care of your well-being?
Okay. When you feel well, when you feel healed, that is that feeling that you feel good about yourself. You feel balanced and you don't feel like tired. You don't feel like you have to do the things that you don't want to do. You feel in the flow of life, and you're not like having to force things to happen. And yeah, you're just really well. Yeah, you feel mentally well, physically well, emotionally well, and also your relationship thrives. Yes.
So that's what it means for overall well-being.
Yes.
How can someone recognize that this is what they need? So many times we hit a, you can say, rock bottom or some wake-up call that makes us realize that, ooh, I need to start taking care of myself, or maybe I'm not happy here, I'm too exhausted. But some of them really believes that that's just how life is, that's how they are, you know, and there's nothing that they can do about it.
Yes.
So how can we spark and ignite that inspiration where like, hey, sebenarnya you can do something about it, you know, and this are the things to look out for.
I feel a good way to start is when you feel stressed.
Okay.
Yeah, when you feel that a lot of things trigger you, like with the little things, and you're just easily tired. I feel that's already a sign that, you know, from your body, yeah, that something needs to change.
Okay.
So, and there's also we need to be aware also. Sometimes we disconnect. Yeah, we switch off that, oh, we don't need rest.
Yeah.
We don't need to relax. Yeah, we don't need to take time off. Yeah, because of so many different reasons.
Yeah.
So I feel that awareness also, yeah, and really connecting with yourself, feeling that tiredness, feeling that stress is also important. Yeah.
So people would say, you know, you hear this word again, healing, self-help, growth, energy, you know, so like very, very common these days.
Yeah.
And you hear it a lot, but what actually entails healing? What do you actually have to do in order for you to heal? Because so many of them would be like, I'm just going to go for a trip, you know, I'm just going to go for a retreat, I am just going to go for a meditation, and then that's it. Like, it's so much more deeper than that. Can you help explain and let everyone who may not even understand it in that level what it actually means to heal, and what can you expect to change in your life?
Going back to what is healing is return to wholeness, return to balance. So healing is a process. And since I love all this framework, so I have a framework for myself. I call it the 4C of healing.
Okay.
So number 1 is conscious, being aware of our feeling, you know, whether we feel good or not, something is off with our body, with our relationship, with our work. And also the next one is about clarity. Yeah, okay, why am I tired all the time? You know, what is important to me? You know, we are clear what is your priorities in life. Yeah, and then, okay, you know, I am stressed all the time because I'm afraid of certain things. Yeah, or I have a lot of responsibilities. And then the next C is courage. Yeah, because a lot of times, yes, we are aware, we are conscious, and we have clarity, but most of the time, we don't take that step to change. Yeah, we don't have the courage because, a lot of different reasons. Yeah, a lot of us who are working have responsibilities. Yeah, and of course, you know, comfort zone is very good, but sometimes when we want to make that shift, we need to get out of that comfort zone. Yeah, and then the last C is consistent action, meaning that, it's true, you cannot just go to Bali one time and then you're healed. Yeah, you need to do a consistent action every day and doing something that is really comfortable to you. Yeah, it's not like just following. Like, I believe you and I have very different way of being well, living well.
So true.
But we need to know what works for us. Yeah, and that make sure that it's something that we really love doing every day and it really benefits us. Like now I start doing 30 minutes of yoga every day because I feel that when I move in the morning, I can feel much better and I can feel happier throughout the day.
Okay. So, like what you said is so true. People get stuck in the second set of like out of the 4 C's, you know, and they're like, I'm like this, I know this is who I am, life is like this, my work is the one that's causing this, it is what it is, there's nothing I can do to change. And so I guess this work is about understanding and realizing that you are the factor of that change.
Yes.
You know, it's not your work that needs to change, it's not your partner that needs to change,
Yes.
it's not your environment that needs to change.
Yeah.
It's like you change, then things start changing.
Correct.
And so I really like when you said courage, because it's so true, because you have to
Yes.
like really look at yourself and be like, how am I causing this, and how
Yes.
can I change? And that takes a lot. So
Yes.
I love that you said that. So now, a lot of people, especially now, consider it as a new age thing. It's new age trend. Penting.
Yeah.
And then especially the older generations all like, I didn't need to do all this.
Yes.
We were fine,
Yes.
like we're just like pushing through and we're okay. We're like succeeding.
Yes.
What can you say to that? Like, why is it important now? Would you explain to the older generation that, hey, you actually still need to go through this, even though you've hit a certain level of success?
Yes. I feel that the generations before us have different priorities and different definition of what success is all about.
So true.
And I feel this day and age, I think we cannot just say success is about material success. But of course, I believe material success is still very important. But then we now need to be more holistic. We need to see that, just review it, how is your financials? Not just financial, not just our business, our work, but also how is our mental state? How is our emotional state? And the different aspect, like how is our relationship? A lot of times, people sacrifice their relationship, for their work. Or just sacrifice their well-being for their work. So it's something that I feel the older generations, definitely we cannot change that mindset in a way, but we could ask them to just reflect, is there anything in your life that you feel that is not so well and you want to improve it, whether it's your health, your relationship, or other things. I feel just getting them to reflect and be more aware, it will help. So it's just up to them whether they want to take it further from that. Yes.
When they say that, okay, I have these issues in my life, but why do we need to care? How do I see or what type of impact or influence this actually has in my life? Because let's just say, we're talking about holistic success now that's beyond career and finances, but how can we find that balance and the connection between doing this work with your success, actual success? Because right now they're like, Uda, I have reached, I've gotten married, I've got my kids, I am quite okay with my bank account, I'm pretty fine, I'm living pretty, a good life. Like, how will they feel like, oh my God, this work is really important for me to actually try further and grow further? So what's the link? What's the connection? How do we know that this work is important for them to even grow further?
I feel going back to really being honest and asking that whether now that they have everything, is it really enough, or is there something that is really missing? I know that this is something very different that they're used to, but some honest conversation, some honest reflection, it could really help.
Yeah, I like that you said that they're used to it.
Yes.
So it's like they're not even aware that there's something that they could do about that feeling or that lack.
Yes.
So could you help explain to someone who may be watching right now and feel again like everything seems okay and I feel like there is something missing? What does that missing thing actually mean? How would they understand that, oh, this is a spark that I need to address?
Yeah. Well, I've met many successful people, and usually the patterns are similar, that they are overworked and they feel alone, they take a lot of burden. So when these people come to me, I would usually ask, how are you at work, and how do you feel about your work, and do you feel supported, or do you feel like overwhelmed all the time, or just anything that make them feel that, hey, this is a lot of burden and this is not healthy. Especially a lot of successful people thrive on supporting others and taking a lot. And that is something that, again, they need to realize it themselves. Why are they doing what they're doing? Are they truly happy or not?
Oh, wow. The intention to your drive, your motivation, and your achievements.
Yes.
To question that.
Yes, because when I started asking them why they're doing what they're doing, what makes them successful, I'm very surprised with the answers. Sometimes, it's not because of them. Oh, because I want to support my family, because I have a lot of responsibilities, because this is what success is, based on what was told to me, and a lot of expectations, that, and maybe later I will share also sometimes that, they feel that is how they will feel worthy, they will feel accepted in the society.
Wow, that's a very important factor, because it feels like everyone is chasing something in order to be validated, in order to feel like I am something when I have this, rather than actually feeling good about it.
Yes. A lot of them feel burdened, a lot of them feel a lot of pressured, and a lot of them feel that, even though I'm doing so much, I don't feel very good, and I don't feel good enough about myself. So when they start to open up and share this, it's something that, we have something that we can go with.
But for example, someone who feels like my life is full of pressure, my work is full of pressure, I do not have the luxury of rest, I do not have the luxury of taking off 30 minutes to meditate or yoga. I don't see the point, because that feels like time is pressure. That's me making money to actually support. Like, that's a real fear that they have, that it's expectations, it's I need to support my family. I feel overwhelmed and overworked because there's no other option for me, because I feel like I need to do this, right? So how can they feel even open up to the idea that, hey, maybe there's another way that I can operate and function, and maybe still be successful, still thrive, but look at things in a different way, function in a different way, actually look at your well-being in a different way, because it's so hard. Like, even if when I spoke to my father, for example, who is an older generation, who's just like go energy, right? And when we're like, okay, relax, and he's just like, I can't, right? So now he's probably a little bit more open to it, but that too because he's in a semi-retiring mode. But for someone who's already in that go energy, for them to just pull back and think oh, I can change the way I operate in order to be even more successful, how do we communicate to them? How do we inspire this feeling of okay, you know what? As much as I'm overly pressured and I do need to do all of these things, how do I even consider not working this way and still be successful,
We do need to make it interesting for them.
Okay.
And we do need to go to their psyche, I guess, so that I feel just getting them to experience it and really honoring if that's what they feel is best for them. We just let them be. So that later on, unfortunately, I think usually the case is when they're really burnt out, only then they will come, right? But I will share with them that just see it as going to the gym, right? It's something that you do, like you take a shower, or you have a meal. It's something that is normal in your life. So that I feel usually people who are new to this is to just get them to experience it, and just also doing an experiment, okay, you do this and see what change. But unfortunately, if the person is really not open to this, it's not something that we can push, because I believe this thing must come from ourselves. But for us is to just be that example as well, that where we are in this work, actually we function better, we work better, and then we could talk about their values as well, what is truly important, why are you doing what you're doing, so that we can align it to whatever it is that they want to achieve.
Yeah. So it's basically a process of them just being open to try something different, and also understand the underlying intention and values that they have that's causing them to act this way all the time, and to kind of like fix that a little bit so that they're able to, you know, find a bit of a balance or even well-being. But what does work-life well-being even mean? How can someone achieve that? What is considered balanced?
Well, work-life well-being is when we are living a life that where success and well-being comes hand in hand. So it's not like a choice of just success or well-being, but it's both. But what is success and well-being is different for you and I, for each and every one of us. So that is when a question of what is true to ourselves come, what is truly important, what are our priorities. So work-life well-being is unique for everyone, and we can design it based on what truly matters in our life.
Okay, so by that it means, like, you know, you hear a lot of people say that my work is very demanding.
Yes.
Or as a mom, you know, I have all of these things with my kids. You don't understand how hectic it gets and overwhelming with all my children. I do not have the time to do this. I do not have the resources or support. Like, it's just a lot of like true, you know, real problems. We get it. But like, those are, I also like to say in a way, excuses. Now I can say that, but I understand when I was going through my own excuses, how tough it is to break that, because you have this imagination that this is how my life is, and it's just very difficult to even break that or change that. So I'm hearing from what you're saying, it's like everyone is able to find their own version of work-life balance and well-being. So how would a general balance look like? What are they supposed to feel in their lives? How are they supposed to operate where they know that, oh, I am really taking care of my well-being and success, and I'm actually achieving a type of work-life balance?
I feel is really looking on your priorities, what is truly important. And I believe that success doesn't mean you do everything, but you prioritize on what is truly important to you. A lot of times, including myself, I used to want to go to all the events. I used to want to do a lot of things in the weekend, for example, or I want to meet a lot of friends. And then I start to feel like very imbalanced, very unhappy, very frustrated. And I start to feel very stressed. And if you want to know what stress feels like, you can feel like pain on your back, on your shoulders, and then maybe you're coughing, or like, different kind of like little things like pains, but you know that, okay, something is off. So that you start from that and you prioritize and really asking yourself, if you have a choice. Because a lot of time we always say we don't have a choice. But if we have a choice, and there is no expectation, there is no like penalties, you're just free to do whatever you want, what is it that you really want to do in your life? So that is a good question. And I always say that, there is no such thing as no time. If you only have like 5 minutes, why don't you just do something for yourself just for 5 minutes? And I always share in my class, okay, if you don't have time to meditate, why don't you meditate in the shower? So when you have a shower on, instead of you're thinking, what I will do later, what I want to eat later, all the deadlines, you just close your eyes, and then you just feel like this water showering you, and you really are present in the moment with the water, and then you can feel much better. So when that happens, usually people will have a buy-in and, okay, I can do this.
So it's like weaving it through into their. So I always say the same thing to my clients. I'm like, okay, if you're not the meditation type, okay, let's do something else. Let's do mindfulness in a different way. You do not have the time to wake up half an hour earlier because you like. So a lot of my clients are like, I already wake up at 8 a.m. and you're telling me to wake up at 7 a.m. Like I'm already dying. I'm like, okay, I understand. Then meditate in the car, meditate in your commute and on the way. You know, find a way to weave it into your life. So I love that you said that, because like so many people feel very intimidated by this lifestyle, because you're like, I don't have the time. Masa harus masukin tambahin ini lagi in my hidup? Like how do I figure it out? So I wanted to ask, like, if suppose someone who feels like this is too much, I don't see the importance, I don't believe in this. What could you tell to them to just be a little bit open to being a little bit more, just open to the idea of healing, well-being, practices like these are better for you, but when they're already so stuck in that stress of like, ya udah, my life is like this, gitu. What could you tell to them to just be a little bit more open to the idea?
You can ask them, what is it that you want to change in your life? If you have a choice, what would you change, and how do you feel right now, and then how would you like to feel? So I feel when there is a gap, they see the gap. Okay, I'm stressed, but I would like to be happier. Yeah, then you can say, okay, how can you go from stress to happy? Then we'll help you with this.
Yeah. So I guess the idea is that they need to be more open on, like, it's like we're stuck in complaint zone sometimes. Ya udah, my life is like this, I feel like this, orang nggak ngerti sama apa drama terus. But without realizing that they actually can change that they are the ones who has to change that. And then so your idea of trying to open up to them is like, okay, you have this issue in your life, what would you like to feel instead? And like give them that difference, and like, hey, you can actually make that happen.
Yes, because I feel busy people, high achievers, they always love to reach goals, right? They don't want to do things that has no meanings and will not get them to where they want to be in life. So if we share with them that, hey, if you try this, you will achieve with ease. You'll do it more joyfully, less stress. I believe they would want to do it, but of course we need to show them the way in a way that is also very efficient for them, and then in just 5 minutes or in just 10 minutes what can be changed.
That's amazing. So you've helped so many people do this and reach from this point to this point and understand their psyche, understand their values, their beliefs, and then shift it, change it. What is your own personal story where you felt like there was this ridiculous belief or a ridiculous value that you were like, all this while I've been operating like this, and just that switch changed your entire life? Do you have something like that?
Yes, for sure. That's why I'm in this journey.
Please share.
So I feel for the longest time I feel very unloved. I felt feeling very unworthy. It could be because my parents divorced and my father left the house. So for as long as I remember, I felt that, if my father abandoned me, no one else would love me, right?
Wow,
so that powerful. Coming from that belief, I grew up being a people pleasers. I just want to make everyone happy. I was so afraid to be abandoned. I would hang out with friends who didn't respect me, but I let them because I was so afraid. Like they would be late. At that time there's no WhatsApp and so on, right? You will just meet people at this time and then they don't show up, and I would wait for hours and then they just didn't show up, and I will be fine. Because I was so afraid that my friend will leave me. I will be so unloved. So let me just not say anything. So I was a very quiet person. I didn't dare to express how I feel, and when people didn't respect me, that I would just let them. And then it still goes on to the adult age, while it happened in the workplace. So that's why when I'm sharing about work-life well-being, because I've experienced it. Because I work super hard. Because I want my boss to love me. Yeah, because I want to be the most dependable person so that, I will not be abandoned.
Wow.
And of course, I believe you believe in law of attraction. When we are feeling so unworthy, when we want to give so much, we will attract people, in my case bosses, who are so gladly taking a lot from me and not respecting me, and not because I don't have that boundaries, right? So that is why, that is really the core of my so-called journey of feeling unworthy, feeling unloved, and this is where I am now, a lot of process.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. That absolutely makes sense, and that is a beautiful way of showing people that they don't realize how their childhood, their beliefs and their values play such a huge role in the actions that they're taking today, that's shaping the experience of their life. That's why you're having these type of bosses. It's not that you get a job that the boss is just annoying. It's hard for people to understand that it's because of something you're doing, you're feeling, that you are attracting those type of experiences in your life, taking actions that come up with those type of outcomes. And so if there's something that you do not like in your life, it's like asking you, what's making me get that, right? And that's such a beautiful way of you actually sharing and making it so clear how the connection and link is. So thank you so much for being open about that. We have 2 more very simple questions before we play a fun little game. And so the first question is, if you could implement one rule that the entire world had to live, what would it be?
I believe it's being kind to each other. I feel these days sometimes, we could just say whatever, we could express whatever, and we can get whatever we want with different kind of attitudes. But I feel being kind and understanding each other would really go a long way.
Yeah, that's a beautiful rule.
Yes.
Second one powerful belief that you'd like to instill in people's lives in order to be able to help improve their lives. What would it be?
I believe awareness is number 1 and it's key. We need to be aware first, and we need to be aware of who we are, knowing ourselves better, and knowing, what we love, what we don't love, and really understanding ourselves. Because if we're not aware of ourselves, it's very hard for us to be aware of others.
That's so true.
Because we don't know who we are as a person.
Wow, that's amazing. And if there is a belief that someone needs to put in their lives, what is one belief that you at least live by that would be able to help them?
That you need to know that you matter, and you need to know what truly matters to you in your life.
That's excellent. Wow, thank you. That's so amazing. And now, such an insightful, powerful conversation. Now, the game that we're gonna be playing is called Would You Rather. Okay. Very simple, right? So it's just gonna be would you rather between 2 options, and I absolutely love to hear your answers and a little bit of an explanation if you feel like it.
Okay.
I played this with my family yesterday, and it was very interesting to hear, so I want to hear that from you. So before we wrap up, let's get started on Game of the Day. First one, would you rather have all the money you'll ever need, but you can never travel out of your hometown, or explore the entire world, but always live paycheck to paycheck without any savings?
I would choose the number 2.
Travel the world?
Travel the world. I love traveling.
Without any savings, right? Love it.
But it seems like the money is there because I can keep on traveling.
I love that. Yeah, it's a good way of looking at it, right? Yeah, it's just pas-pasan aja terus ya udah jalan aja. I love it. Okay. Would you rather live in a world without color or music?
Oh gosh, that is hard. Maybe without color.
So music more, yeah. Would you rather always feel like you have to sneeze but never actually sneeze, or always have an itch in a place you can't reach?
Oh gosh, that is hard. Maybe the sneeze.
Jadi nggak jadi terus.
I hate being itchy.
Oh, that makes sense. You'd rather like ya udah nggak jadi sneeze terus. Okay, cool. Would you rather have everyone you know be able to read your thoughts at all times,
No.
or never be? I love it. Or never be able to speak again.
Oh God. Maybe they read my thoughts.
So you choose. You would rather them not. You'd rather have them read your thoughts
Yeah, I think so.
rather than not talk. I like that. I like that. The you were saying no, and then immediately the next option was like, ooh, I'd rather talk. Okay, I like that. Would you rather lose your ability to taste food forever, or lose your ability to feel anything like physical, like a warm hug, a touch?
Maybe the taste of food.
You'd rather lose the taste of food. Okay, awesome. One more question. Would you rather confess every negative thought that you have about someone, or have every lie that you've told published in a book?
Maybe the first one.
You'd rather be able to confess that I don't like you, you're so annoying, rather than have your lie.
Yeah.
Okay, exposed. I love that. Okay, thank you so much. This has been so amazing. And so, that was fun. I hope you had a good time.
Yes.
And thank you so much for being so open, for sharing, and for us to be able to just help other people feel a lot better in their lives and succeed in different ways. And I thank you so much for your energy, for your space, for your effort, for just your moment here, your presence. And if any of this resonated with you guys and you feel like I want to understand and learn more, then you know where to find us. And yeah, I hope this conversation changed or sparked a little thing within you in order to feel a little bit better in your life. Thank you so much for your time. So today's ghost